You just got to build relationships. Hello, friends. In the last episode, we talked about what this show is and why we're here. If you missed the last episode, go back and watch it. It sets the stage for today. So let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. It's changing everything. The big question is how it went from optional to non-negotiable in business. If you're on the fence or you think AI is a fad, I want to challenge you and show you a simple way to see it. Let me take you back to the 1990s. Now I'm 48 now, so I grew up in that middle space between the old way, relationships, and the new way, which is called the internet. And I remember walking into a tiny flower shop the week of prom. On the window, there was this web address. In my small town, that was wild. When I asked about it, the owner said, I don't know if this is going to take off. People want to smell the flowers, not order from a big clunky box. Maybe he was right, but I told him I'd buy online to save the drive. The point was that the technology that felt optional quickly became the default. In a few short years, every shop had a site. Every customer expected it. And the people who mix relationships with the internet pulled ahead. That's the same pattern with AI. The tools aren't perfect. Sometimes they get things wrong. However, the headline is about speed, clarity, and a new way of thinking. The question isn't whether AI replaces people. The question is whether you'll use it as a lever so you can focus on the human work that actually builds trust. Here's my simplest case for why AI is non-negotiable. Think about one of the most popular tools, ChatGPT. Now, when I launched Six Sigma Funnels, I did something I've never done in 30 years of entrepreneurship. Instead of hiring a big team on day one, I opened a chat and said, act like a marketing officer. Then act like a product manager. Act like a chief sales officer, compensation analyst, an editor, a writer, a founder, a CEO. I had separate conversations with many company roles. Within days, we built a 75-page marketing plan that would typically take weeks. We mapped audiences, offers, positioning, and launch emails. When it came time to create the first version of our website, I iterated with AI in a single day. Tuned the voice, verified the facts, feeling confident in releasing it. I condensed weeks into 24 hours, and I felt good press and publish. Now picture your competition doing that. If it takes you 3 weeks to draft something and they do it in a day, they aren't winning because they're better. They're winning because they're faster. In markets that move this quickly, speed becomes a strategic advantage. There was another unexpected win. Because I wasn't racing to create a team, I could let the team form naturally. I asked only one first day question of each member that I added to the team. Do you use ChatGPT? If the answer was no, you weren't a fit to join my team. Not because you lack talent, but because you'll be outpaced by someone average with AI. The person who's a 5 with AI will outrun the person who's a 10 without it. That's a wake-up call for all of us. Here's a recent story. My chief strategy officer has extensive experience in mergers and acquisitions, investor relations, cap tables, and financial modeling. He can do the work solo, and he can do it well. Even then, it takes time. So we pulled AI into the meeting. We used it to frame, draft, and check the cap table logic, equity, salary bands, and bonus structures. What would have taken many weeks, even months, took 7 days. Then we spent our energy on thinking. I could see how he processed his trade-offs and how he could see my feedback because the steps were captured in real time. We ended with a clear cap table and a straightforward compensation plan that we both believed in. And the entire sprint took 7 days, end to end. And here's what's interesting. It would have been even faster if we were not working on other tasks. So where are we right now? We're in a moment where speed has changed the math. What used to take months now takes hours. But there's a rule you can't break. Use AI as a lever, not a replacement. If you let AI send your friend requests, great. If you let AI write your first draft, great. If you let AI run the whole conversation with a real person, you just traded a relationship for a shortcut. Shortcuts do not compound. Think about it this way. Relationships are where trust is formed. Everything before the moment of real connection can be automated. The second you're actually talking to someone, show up as you. That's the relationship-based economy. AI clears the runway. You make the landing. A lot of you ask which industries are changing. Honestly, all of them. Design is moving fast. Video production is changing weekly. Software, sales, customer support, HR, finance, and operations are all evolving in real time. As we're talking, another role is getting augmented. That's why the question, what should we watch for in the next 12 to 18 months, has a surprising answer. No one knows. There's a lot of smart voices, but the truth is simple. We are early, which means your edge isn't predicted by anyone's social media post. We already had AI agents as of August of 2025, and a year ago, we didn't. A year from now, we'll have new building blocks none of us can see yet. That uncertainty is a feature, not a flaw, if your foundation is relationships. Let me anchor this with one research call out that you can bank on. McKinsey's State of AI report states that organizations seeing real impact aren't just adding tools. They're rewiring workflows to capture value across functions. Adoption's broad, and the gains show up when teams change how work gets done, not when they bolt on a gadget. That lines up with what I see on the ground every day. When you redesign the steps, you get speed and quality. And when you don't, you get noise. So, how do you start today without losing the human part? Here's the shift. Pick the one thing you're great at. Then use AI to push that strength to the ceiling. Don't try to be great at everything. Be great at your thing and give it a jet engine. Here's the practical takeaway. 5 moves you can make this week. 1, define the lever. Write down the one workflow that shows you down the most. Drafting marketing copy, building a proposal, preparing discovery questions, or cleaning a spreadsheet. Run that workflow with an AI partner end to end. Capture the prompts you used and the steps that saved you time. 2, set a speed benchmark. If it took you 3 hours last month, aim for 1 hour this month. Track it. Speed without quality is a trap. Therefore, add a simple quality check. Number 3, create your role board. Open a fresh chat and label separate threads for your key roles: marketing, sales, product, finance, HR, founder. Keep each role's history in its own place so it learns your voice, your offers, and your patterns. And number 4, design your handoff. Decide where AI stops and you start. AI sends the friend request, you do the first real hello. AI drafts the email, and you add the personal line that only a human could know. And number 5, bake it into meetings. Bring AI into your working sessions as a third chair, not to replace the conversation, but to speed the drafting, surface the blind spots, and document decisions. You'll think together more efficiently, and you'll leave with clear notes. Here's a quick mindset check. There are no true experts in a field that's moving this fast. Some people are more fluent, and that helps, but humility wins. Learn in public, share the playbooks, and be generous with your wins and your misses. If you do that, your network learns alongside you, and relationships continue to develop as they always have. They compound. If you're still wondering whether AI is non-negotiable, I'm going to leave you with this. The only time a relationship-based economy breaks is if humans decide we're done talking to each other. And I just don't buy that. I think we'll continue to choose connection. So the path forward is simple. Combine relationships and AI, and you'll win the next 12 to 18 months and the years after that. So here's the takeaway. Use AI to do the heavy lifting. Use you to do the heart lifting. And let AI carry the load up to the moment of connection, and then bring your voice to the table. That's where trust lives. That's where business grows. If this episode gave you something to think about, hit like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment with your own story. I love to hear it. And don't miss the next episode. We're talking about why even the giant corporations depend on relationships and what that means for you. Remember, keep building relationships.
Thanks for listening to the Jim Lufkin Podcast, where AI meets real relationships. If an idea resonated with you, drop a comment or a question below so Jim can weigh in. And share this episode with one friend who would benefit. See you next time.